Hi, I'm Stephen Collins. Just a little over a year ago, my friend Christopher Reeve began filming this wildlife documentary. Now, Chris has always been an adventurer, flying his own airplane, sailing ocean-going sailboats, scuba diving. And he's also had a lifelong fascination with wild animals, and particularly with the gray whale. So, when he was presented with the opportunity to get up close to any wild animal, he naturally chose the gray whale. Now, nobody was quite sure if this would be possible, but Chris was determined, and his determination took him on the journey you're about to see, following the gray whale on its extraordinary annual migration up and down the west coast of America. Shortly after filming was finished, before he narrated the film, Chris had the riding accident from which he's still recovering. He's asked me to step in for him and tell you his story. It was Christopher Reeve's curiosity that started him on this epic journey to understand the gray whale. He wanted to get close, but he also wanted to know why they swim 10,000 miles every year on an endless journey between the Arctic and Mexico. Christopher has always been intrigued by the sea and very much at home in and around it. All his life, he's been an expert swimmer, sailor, and diver. The mysterious creatures of this underwater world have always fascinated him. The mammals that live in the sea interest him the most, like these sea lions. Watching them dart to and fro underwater, it's hard to believe that their ancestors, like the whales, were once land-based creatures. It took millions of years, of course, for their feet to become flippers, their bodies to be so streamlined. But sea lions haven't become totally aquatic like the whales. They still haul out on land to sleep and breed. Finding sea lions is easy. Not so for whales. Chris's quest to get close to them in the open ocean and discover what they really mean to him is quite another challenge. Chris began his search in July off the Alaskan coast. His destination, an island between Alaska and Siberia in the Bering Strait. Gray whales swim north along the American coast to spend the summer in the chill waters of the Arctic. Chris is piloting the plane, following their route.
The sea state is actually perfect for looking for the whales now because the wind has calmed down a lot since this morning, and we're more likely to see them if they blow.
And there they are.
Here he is.
Massive gray torpedo shapes.
Below. Just below.
At 45 feet and 35 tons, gray whales are one of the largest animals in the world, about the size of 10 elephants. The plume of spray from their breathing can be seen for miles. The blow reaches 30 feet into the air. They got their name, gray, from the color of their body. But so much of it is covered in a patchwork of sea lice and barnacles that they have a mottled appearance. Most of what they do and why they do it is still a mystery. Like all the great whales, they've been persecuted. There were once two large populations in the Pacific. The one around Japan has been virtually wiped out. Only this North American population still come to the Arctic in significant numbers.
Hey, look out the window now.
Welcome to
Now we're
Alaska.
starting to see Alaska.
Now we're in Alaska.
Chris has had to turn inland. He needs to refuel before the final leg to St. Lawrence Island, and this is his last chance.
you.
I got the pedals.
You got the pedals, hang
I got the
11?
pedals.
Yep. Well, this is our last fuel stop before we go out a couple hundred miles into the Bering Strait, which you could almost technically say is a journey into tomorrow, because where we're going is right on the international date line. So the people over in Russia are standing over there looking into yesterday, and we're standing on St. Lawrence Island looking into tomorrow. A good philosophical place to be, I guess. But that's where the whales are, and that's what you have to do to get to them. Throttle back, and we'll kind of like stay at 500 feet here and just blow right down the Yukon. That looks like it'd be fun. So we're on our way.
If you really want to know about gray whales, then the village of Gamble on St. Lawrence Island is the place to go, because the Yupik Eskimos there still hunt them. It's a 2-hour journey.
These visual maps are really helpful as opposed to an instrument map, which just gives you airways. So it's like driving down a highway. You have no features of any kind. You just have to drive down the road. So when you switch...
Another pilot is trying to land at Gamble. She's saying she can't see the island. The clouds are too low, and she's thinking of turning back to the mainland.
We're talking to a Bering Air pilot who's saying that she's not able to get into Gamble, and she's going to take her flight back to, she can take her people back to Nome, and she's in visual conditions at 2,000 feet. So we've decided that we're going to go to the beacon, which is right overhead the airport, right here, this purple circle there. We're going to go right overhead it and take a look and see whether it merits shooting an approach or going back to Sabuka where we know we can get in. So we'll have a look.
The village is somewhere below. Chris is looking for a hole in the cloud to drop through.
I see the shoreline pretty well.
If you go that way,
yeah,
and go down in that hole there and come back around the shoreline and do downwind, huh?
He's made it.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, looks good. Very good. Look at this. The folks are out to meet us, gang. These dune buggies are fantastic.
It's been a long flight. Now, an unexpected welcome.
This is cool. This is very cool.
Gamble is a surprising place. There are dune buggies and an airstrip, and yet the people still rely on hunting to get most of their food. Walrus skins are used to cover the frames of the traditional whaling boats.
Sir, I didn't meet you. I'm Chris.
Leonard,
Hi, Leonard. Nice to see you. I just think this boat is going to...
The Yupik are culturally closer to their Siberian ancestors than to Alaskan Eskimos.
We do have 2 or 3 more around.
These large skin boats might be traditional, but they don't look all that safe for hunting whales.
Can I help you lift it?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Be my guest.
No, I was just thinking, for someone who's been used to being in a wooden boat, to go out and feel the movement of this boat is probably going to be a very different sensation.
It is. Fear was something I had to deal with when I first got on this boat.
As a kid, and you were out bailing first?
Yeah, I was bailing by the cupful as the water. I made sure we stayed afloat.
The islanders have traditionally survived by catching 3 or 4 whales every year. They still have special permission to do so. Whale bones litter the shoreline. The Yupik have risked their lives in the freezing waters to catch many of these animals. Gray whales are nicknamed devilfish because they have a frightening reputation of fighting back and overturning boats.
Did the island take any whales this year?
Only one. We had a real bad weather condition this year.
Just one whale in a season is bad news if the islanders are to make it through the winter.
Do you remember the frame for this boat being built, or is that?
I was pretty young.
Very
I don't
little kid.
even remember.
Amazing.
A walrus skin leaks after a while, so every 2 or 3 years, they're replaced. The whole family lends a hand. It all takes the best part of a day. But there's no way they're going to launch the boats today. The weather's still too bad. And there's no sign of the whales. The Yupiks say the swell has forced them out to sea. The whales come up to the Arctic to feed on the huge quantities of crabs, shrimp, sea urchins, and anemones. In a few short months, they're said to eat enough to last them a year. A gray whale most often feeds on the seabed. It rolls onto its side, usually its right side, and plows through the mud, sucking in the food and silt. Then, with its 3,000-pound tongue, it forces what it scooped up through bristly filters along the sides of its mouth. The food stays inside while the mud is pushed out. You can see all the way to Siberia from here. It's a lot of sea in which to find a whale, particularly in a small, skin-covered boat. It's past midnight, but this is the land of the midnight sun. On summer nights, the sun sinks low over the mountains of Siberia, but it never sets. It's a flat sea today, although there's a bank of fog offshore that could still make finding a whale tricky.
Steps. Just a little bit to the left. A little bit more to the right. There it is.
This crew is used to having to spend days looking for whales. Sails are used for hunting because they're silent. Chris isn't used to this kind of boat, but he's going to give it a try.
I have. I've been sailing since I was 5. Little kid. See if we can get this thing moving.
Apparently, the whales will be a mile or so offshore if they're here, so Chris turned to find them.
Do you ever have races in these boats?
Yeah, during 4th of July.
You have races? You ever win?
No.
No. It's funny. It's like down in the States, down in Maine, all the guys who use lobster boats. They have on 4th of July. They have lobster boat races too. Anytime somebody builds a boat, it's not long before they want to race the other guys, see who's fastest. It's just human nature. How close can you get to a whale before you need to? Do you leave the sail up? Let's say you come to harpoon a gray. Do you leave the sail up or drop it when you get close?
Leave the sail up.
And why is that?
Get to the sail real close, we can harpoon it.
And how close can you get?
Real close.
Really close.
Yeah.
But the sail's not going to get them close today. The wind has died. At least Chris can resort to less traditional, noisier methods. This is a trip to find a whale, after all, not to hunt it. They're into the fog, so they listen. a whale has to breathe.
We're literally traveling right now in his wake. We can just see the bubbles on the surface where he was breathing. Oh, we are very close to this whale.
The whale could come up anywhere. The water's close to freezing.
Oh, it's really funny. There's a lot of suspense. There he is. Ah, beauty. Oh, what a beauty. He's there. He's right there. Oh. To hear him blow out in the middle of the big ocean with no wind, it's totally calm. It's fantastic. He's been down for a couple of minutes now, and we're waiting where we think he's going to come up. And what would be great is to see him do something called spy hopping. Every now and again, they just literally come up and put half their bodies out of the water, just sort of standing on their tail and taking a look around to see where they are. I mean, it's not likely he's going to do that right now, because he's just, there he is, over there. Look at the spiny back. That's definitely a gray, because on his backbone, you see the really, the vertebrae look like knuckles. They're very well defined. We've definitely found the gray whale. He seems to be the gray whale at the moment. It'd be nice to find more.
But to get closer to them, Chris will have to follow the whales to Mexico. It's February, and Chris Reeve is on the gray whale's trail south. Every winter, when the Arctic freezes, the whales migrate to Mexico, to a few shallow inlets on the Baja Peninsula.
This is the lagoon coming up right here. Here's the entrance to the lagoon. Nice place if you're a whale, I suppose. Nice place to be born.
Gray whales have been coming to these lagoons for thousands of years, but no one's quite sure why.
There's millions of them there. Look at these guys go.
He's got to get the timing right. Some of the whales are only in the lagoons for a week before they turn back.
Beautiful. Very beautiful.
Chris has come to join the ocean research vessel, the Mystique.
And this is Mystique standing by 1672.
The boat's heading to a very special lagoon called San Ignacio. It's been there several times before to study the whales because in this lagoon, it's said that whales sometimes become as friendly as dolphins. It's a 2-day journey down the Baja Peninsula, and then there's a dangerous sandbar to cross to get into the lagoon. A rough sketch map is all the captain has to guide him safely over it.
If you follow the whales, you run aground. How they get in, they'll come in 3 feet of water and just absolutely glide over it.
Do they like get on a wave and just use some speed to do it, or what?
You know, I have no idea. You'll see them stalled out, they'll do it. You'll see them stopped, they'll do it. And if you make the mistake...
Boats have run aground trying to get into this lagoon since the 1850s. That's when whalers first came to slaughter the grays. The whales did fight back, often attacking the harpoon boats, but the killing continued. Whaling only stopped 50 years ago, but gray whales can live longer than that, so just how friendly will the so-called devilfish be now?
Steering is an exhausting job on this boat, as you can see. We're on autopilot, don't worry. But we've got radar, we've got sonar, we've got, it's the all-singing, all-dancing motor vessel.
There's 100 miles to go. They need to be there for the high tide in the morning, so they'll have to keep going. Whales swim day and night on their journey. They sleep on the way. They have the ability to doze as they travel. That's not a luxury they can afford tonight on the Mystique. Chris volunteered to take the final watch. At last, the entrance to San Ignacio Lagoon. It's these breakers they have to find their way through. The whales seem to breeze in at any time, but the Mystique needs at least 9 feet of water, more if the sea is rough. It's going to be tricky. Chris sensed there'd be some difficult moments. One of the dinghies has gone ahead to look out for rocks.
9 feet. 348.5. 3476. I'll let you there. 3479.
Yeah.
348.
Yeah, it's going to line us up that little mountain the same way we did this morning.
Okay, roger that.
We want him up a little bit where there's that one swell line, then I think it's going to be our problem. Matt, what's your depth? 9.4 feet.
25 feet.
Heading 329. I'm going to head for him. 10 feet.
Yeah, we're further left than he was.
11 feet. We're getting deeper.
They're safely across the sandbar and into the lagoon. "60 square miles of protected water with a desert shore. Boats need special permission from the Mexican government to come here. This ancient lagoon, where whales were once hunted, is now part of Mexico's largest wildlife reserve. This shallow sea is a nursery for all sorts of marine life, which in turn attracts more than 150 different species of water birds, from pelicans to heermen and herring gulls. These brant geese have traveled here from Alaska just as Chris and the whales have done. Somewhere out in the lagoon is the whale expert and wildlife cameraman Chris has come to meet.
Let's go over and see him, see how he's been doing.
You got it.
Bruce Reitherman is a biologist. He's made several studies of the lagoon and its animals. His friend and longtime companion, Pachico Mayoral, is one of the oldest fishermen here. He knows how to find gray whales. For just a few weeks every February, there's a frenzy of whale activity, much of it out of sight underwater. But Chris can listen to the strange cacophony of clicks and pops, gray whale conversations, using Bruce's underwater microphone.
How far do whale sounds travel?
Well, they travel quite some distance, and they're different. The noises they make have a real broad range of sound to them, and some of the sounds travel farther than others. It's like high squeaky noises don't travel as far as real low rumbles underwater.
Well, we have whales around us that we've seen. Nothing right at the boat, but nearby.
The water itself is real noisy because there's so much.
It almost sounds like, you know, that sound when you go. Almost sounds like that. Is that a whale?
That's perfect, yeah.
Yeah? I knew there was a close resemblance between me and the gray whale. Size, coordination.
That is a perfect impression.
Yeah.
They make half a dozen different kinds of noises, but that's the one that's most audible to the human ear. Most of them can't hear them quite as well.
There it goes again. It's like a boop, 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 boop. Do we know what that means?
Most musical. Nobody really has a cue. With these kinds of whales, and most of the big whales, they don't use it for echolocation, the way the small dolphins do. They don't find things like a bat or a small dolphin would.
Oh, that's cool.
Whether it's navigation,
somebody's talking to somebody here.
A language, nobody really has any idea. Sometimes when two are crossing or coming straight at each other or coming towards an obstacle like a boat, they make more noise than just ordinarily too.
Telling each other, look out for the boat.
Or, yeah, look out for the two goofy guys with
the
sound
this tourist down from the States. Oh, that's cool. Let me take the camera.
Bruce Reitherman has studied and filmed the whales of San Ignacio for several years. But his early work here was on ospreys that breed on an island in the lagoon. With no land predators to bother them, birds nest on the ground here. There are huge colonies of brown pelicans. These desert shores and islands are one of the last wildlife areas in Mexico where man has had little impact. The place is full of life.
Right there, right now.
One of the things Bruce studied is why in these osprey nests, one chick always grows faster than the others.
You can see how already they're beginning to show how the sizes are different.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's much bigger. He's been getting all the food.
Yeah. It's kind of... These guys the little one.
Are they probably, you know, all hatched nearly at the same time, or?
They all hatched within about a day or two of each other. But the oldest one, this guy for sure, gets a little more food. The female will pretty much feed whatever chick reaches up and gapes at her mouth.
Right.
And the way that this guy gets less is that this guy beats up on him. So that's how the youngest one doesn't get much. He gets beat up enough that he cowers, and as long as he cowers, she won't go out of her way to feed him.
Amazing. No welfare in this family, huh?
No, it works out to make
competitive.
It's efficient somehow, but it's not very compassionate.
Right.
When they're really young, if you just make a shadow over it like this, he'll sometimes reach up.
He could be.
He's too old. He already knows the difference between just a shadow and his
and
mom.
Your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you're kidding me. So how would you? Are these two getting enough nourishment? Are they going to be okay?
I don't think these guys have got more than another couple weeks left in them. There, you can see how much food this guy has in him right now. See, he's maybe a fifth of his weight is in his neck. He just had a huge meal. And you look at number 2 brother here.
Right.
And he's got quite a bit. There's probably plenty of fish this meal.
And this one's
number 3, he got some. He's doing pretty well still.
But he needs another meal soon.
Yeah, and you can just tell by the difference in sizes. They should all be very close together at this stage.
Vision seems to be pretty good already. He's really watching what you're just doing.
They mature very quickly, and within another couple weeks, he's just beginning. Whoa! Gotcha!
Nice shot.
Bullseye.
Okay.
Good aim.
Good aim. Right.
That said it all. It was time to move on. All life here revolves around the lagoon. The thousands of birds, like the brown pelicans that breed here every year, do so because of the abundance of food in the sea. But it's not food that seems to be the main attraction for the whales. They're supposed to do most of their feeding in the Arctic. There has to be a reason why the gray whales swim solidly for 4 months to get to Mexico. There's a lot more to find out, and the whales are beginning to reveal themselves.
Oh, beauty. Hello. And there's another one just off to his left side.
Yeah, they're just cruising along together.
Yeah, they're still on the surface. Still on the surface.
This is sort of like the gray whale equivalent of Ventura Boulevard, you know? They just cruise back and forth.
Chris was finally with the whales. They were so close, he could smell their breath. It smelled of fish. Suddenly, he wasn't quite sure what to do next.
Oh, man, this is great. It's a kind of interesting balance, because we don't want to disturb them, and yet they're curious about us. It's like both sides are kind of shy.
Yeah, it's almost like the best you can do is leave yourself open to the possibility that's going to happen.
Right.
And then you have to wait and see.
It's the great whale romance.
Yeah.
You just got to be open for it. Don't get your hopes up. Come to the dance with your corsage. The fact that you get these tantalizing glimpses of them that makes it so exciting, because I could see how early sailors might have thought that they were monsters, that they were serpents. You just see the spiny back going, and there's an implication of huge size, but you don't know how much, and you don't see the rest of it, and it could be anywhere. Gosh, it's really... It's surprising sometimes when you think that they're established traveling in this direction and then find they haven't come up where you expected, because you think that mass, 30 feet, has a turning radius. But I don't know, what are they doing, kick turns down there? How are they getting, are they rolling over? I mean, they seem much more maneuverable than I thought.
Yeah, I've had many times where you're trying to reach out to touch them, and they'll stay just beyond your fingertips. Yeah, I mean, they must be able to sense somehow where your finger is, or they'll come up. There's this huge mass, you know, and they'll come up and they'll come within just an inch or two of the side of the boat, and then sink back down again.
Gray whales are mysterious creatures. No one knows why they stand on their tails with their heads out of the water. It's called spy hopping, though it's not certain that they're actually trying to look around. Then there's a behavior called breaching. The whale builds up speed and launches most of its 35-ton body right out of the water.
Yes! Oh, what a beauty. Oh, what a beauty.
Once it started breaching, it'll do it time and time again.
I bet she does it again, or did you see him blow?
No, he's got one more in him.
He's got one more. Okay, come on. Make it the high jump, friend. Make it the high jump. Clear the bar. Yes! Nice splash. Thank you. There he goes.
Whoa!
Oh, that was nice. That was nice. He actually, about 3/4 of his body came out, and he did like a barrel roll sort of thing and down. That was good. Now, you can't tell. That's got to be just for fun. But no, it doesn't have. It just looks like it's for fun.
I think
if I was a whale, that's what I'd spend my day doing. I just think the sheer exuberance. It doesn't seem to be angry behavior. It doesn't seem to be. It's not like spy hopping, which is just where am I, like up periscope.
Well, you know, kind of. But we'll see some spy hops here, and I'd be interested to see how many times you see the eye come above water. I don't think it hardly ever comes above water. I don't think they do it for vision at all.
Really?
It's my impression, you know. Maybe other species of whales do, but I bet 1 out of 10 times, even less.
What's your theory about
the
spy
eye comes
hopping?
back. I don't know. I don't know at all. I have no good explanation for it. And with breaching, even less. I mean, and part of it is that we think we can figure it all out. I mean, part of it is
too anthropomorphic, huh?
Yeah, we ought to be able to figure out a reason that makes sense to us.
Yeah.
And an animal that lives in the ocean like that, I mean, maybe they just have a different way of looking at things. I know I've thought many times about how we look to a whale looking up at us in a skiff like this. Imagine, or even if you could learn the language, what would you talk about?
Right.
Just, you know, this animal's been living under the water for several million years, and to think that you'd have enough in common. I mean, language is communication. You got to have something to talk about in order to learn the language.
You know what I think is cool about it, though, is that, you know, we're living in the information age when we're so obsessed with communication all over the globe and instantaneous communication. I think it's very good for our souls and for our humility to have some things left in the natural world that are still mysteries, that are unknowable. And in a way, I think we should leave it at that.
It was time to break for lunch at Pachico's house.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Gracias.
See? You gotta get that.
It's not getting big enough. Okay, she's gonna beat me by a mile here. She's already starting with another one. Okay. Okay, slow down. No. Oh, she's done already. Wait a minute. I have to make it bigger, right?
Está haciendo un mapa, no una tortilla. She said you're making a map, not a tortilla.
Okay, wait a minute. I'll just try this back and forth, see what happens. How am I doing? Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Mine isn't big enough, though. Mine was not big enough.
You kind of throw it over the top of your hand so it stretches.
And I've got holes in it, too.
Yeah.
I'm having fun, anyway.
Argentina?
Oh, I'm gonna have to eat it the way it is. Well, I left a little lake there. See?
Yeah, that's.
This is very good. This is very good cheese.
I'm willing to have one of these.
You're gonna have really? Yeah. And this is the other one that I made. A little lake in the middle.
Mine looks a little bit like Antarctica.
What's the name for the cheese?
Queso.
Just
Queso de
cheese.
campo?
Queso regional.
Regional
Queso
cheese?
Pachico, huh? Everything else is named
Probably
Panchico
the
here.
next time.
Panchico cheese, okay.
Yeah.
In Campo Panchico, in the town of Panchico.
There's no time for a siesta. The whales don't hang around for long. There was so much going on, and Chris didn't want to miss anything.
They got one just at 12 o'clock, just another one right here. Another one just over here, and he's coming our way. It's definitely heating up here in the lagoon.
Head of another one.
Head of now, is this some courtship maybe?
Could very well be. It's certainly, watch coming up again.
Yeah, right there. Now that's too big for a mother and a calf, so right?
Absolutely, that's definitely 2 single adults. It's hard to know that if they're actually.
We got 3 here. We've got 3 right here. Hello, friends. What's gonna happen next? It's the mating season.
Apparently, mating is one of the main reasons the whales come here. The lagoon acts as a huge singles club, where hundreds of whales gather together. There's massive competition for females. They're often chased by 10 or more males at once. She stops them from mating with her by swimming away or lying upside down on the surface. Eventually, just 2 males stay the course. Lying on either side of her, they take turns to mate.
Pretty hard to tell their sexes apart from the surface. There's really no obvious way to do it unless they happen to show you some very pertinent part of their anatomy. And the males do that occasionally.
Really?
Yeah.
Shameless.
No mistaking it.
Just roll over and enjoy.
In the week a female is here, it's thought she'll mate with several males. This is probably the only opportunity to conceive for the year.
Oh boy, definitely mating season. I was gonna say, yeah. Here we have gray whales making more gray whales. Live.
The competition for the females is so intense because they only breed every other year. Half of the females in the lagoon this year are pregnant from last year, or have just given birth and are caring for their young, so they're not interested.
Occasionally you see groups of 10 or 12 animals at once. It's just a big free-for-all.
True. Shocking.
Mazzola somewhere in the mix.
Mating bouts can last 4 hours or more as males fight for position.
I think we have gray whale happiness here. Yeah, right there together. Wow. Wow.
One on each side.
Wow. Coming right towards us.
Gray whale sandwich.
Yep. Boy, what a project. You can see why they do this only once a year. It's far too labor intensive.
No one knows why the whales have chosen to use these particular lagoons in Mexico for mating. It may be that they're one of the few places where killer whales don't come. Killer whales attack gray whales, but none have ever been seen in San Ignacio Lagoon. There's a lot more to understand about these mighty creatures. As Chris went with Pachico back to the Mystique for the night, he could only wonder what tomorrow might bring. What about those mothers with their young calves? Would he get to see one of them? He'd traveled thousands of miles to be here with the whales, Now he could only wait to see whether he could get closer to one of the so-called friendly whales that are said to inhabit this magical lagoon, and which actually invite human contact. Day 2 in Mexico, and Chris Reeve is hoping today will be his lucky day. He wants to find one of the gray whales of San Ignacio that are said to be interested in humans. Hopefully, it'll be a female with a newborn calf. But this is a young adult.
Hi. Hello. Hey there.
Hey, buddy.
Hello, my friend. He's come to see us. Oh, beauty. Oh, beauty. First time we've seen the whole body. He's right under the boat here, gang. Right here. Hello. Hi there. Hi there. Hello. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Hello. There's his eyes. He's about to bump the boat. Hi there. He's scraping the boat. He'll go back and forth. Hi there. He's rubbing his barnacles on us.
Buddy.
Hello. How are you? It's funny how soft his skin is. Yeah. Right there. There's his eye. Yeah. Hello. Hi there. Beauty. Beauty. And there's the tail. Oh, fantastic. You know what was so cool is the way he just came to the bow and he just came up to see us.
Yeah.
That was so great. He just came right up to see us. Just like, hi there. He just, didn't want to, disturb us, didn't want to make any issue, just quietly just came right up to see us.
Just wondered.
That was great. That was great. I'm amazed at how kind of soft the skin is.
Imagine, too.
I expected it to be like really leather or something, hard leather, but it's just soft and yeah. I just, it's just such a privilege to make contact with such a big other part of the world. I can't even say it, it's just makes you feel closer just makes you feel closer.
It's the same young whale, back again. He's very curious about Chris.
Hello there. And we're getting bumped. That's a beauty. Hi there. Oh, this is great. Hello. He's upside down. Yeah. That's a beauty. That's it. And there's his eye right there. Can you guys see his eye?
Chris could never have imagined how looking into the eye of a gray whale in the wild would affect him.
And these are these barnacles. He seems to like just being rubbed right here like this. Yes.
Whales are magnificent creatures.
Good,
They're so alien, and yet they seem to want to understand us. Some people say they come to have their barnacles scratched. Chris felt sure that this whale just wanted to be stroked, as if it were pleasurable.
That's it, right there. Hello. Oh, and a little spy hop, and down he goes. Wow. Oh, he's right there. He's gonna come back and say hi again. Come on back up. And the other one's just below him to the right. They're both right here. Hello, friends. Rolling over. Yeah, yeah. How wonderful. Where have you guys gone? wonder if they can hear us, or whether they're just liking the sensation and calm and...
They sure know that you're touching them.
Oh, yeah.
They know that.
Oh, yeah. And he was just scraping a little bit on the boat, but with no intention to disturb us or anything, just...
Chris was beginning to realize that gray whales move him in a way he could never have anticipated. Touching them had made a grown man act like a boy again.
Oh, yes, indeedy. He just came right over specifically to say hello again. We're gonna get a little nudge. He's right underneath us. He's kind of lifting us up. I think he's scratching his barnacles. We can feel the little tugs. Wow. He's spinning us around in a circle. He's spinning us around as he tries to kind of scratch himself. He's lifting us up and spinning us around. Yeah. Wow. Hi there. We're still playing, aren't we? Are we still playing? I hope we're still playing. Yeah. Our bow is being lifted out of the air. He's rolling and bumping us. I think he just wants to scratch. Woo! Woo! Oh, wow. Inside his mouth is the next step. Short of being eaten by a whale, I think this is whale contact. Wow. Yeah. Oh boy. That's so great. And there's a spy hopper over there too.
Over the next few days, Chris saw a lot of whales, but all the ones that came up to him were single adults. The mothers with calves kept their distance. These lagoons are the main nurseries for the gray whale. Females get pregnant one year, then return the next year to give birth. It's always been thought that gray whales have just one calf at a time, but a few days before Chris arrived, Bruce had seen a very unusual sight: a mother with two calves. She seemed to be caring for both, and the calves appeared over a number of days with the same mother. The bond between a mother and her calf is very strong. She's enormously attentive. Her young never go more than a few feet away. It could be that this second calf had lost its real mother in these murky waters and been adopted. Or it could be that this female had had two calves. We'd never know. Chris just hoped they'd both make it. On his last day, Chris prepared for a final dive outside the lagoon. Suddenly, a mother appeared with a very young calf and headed straight towards him. Before Chris had got into the water, they were there. The calf was as curious about Chris and his squeaky rubber boat as Chris was about it. This calf would have been about the same size when it was born, about 12 feet long and weighing up to 2,000 pounds. They grow at an astonishing rate on very rich milk that's more than 50% fat.
It's a mom and a calf, and they're really in a playful mode. And what I'm trying to do is, as I swim underneath, I'm getting a really good view. And we seem to be having this dialogue going on where I'm saying, come here, and she's saying, well, yeah, but I got my baby. So we're sort of talking about it.
In a week or two, this calf will start the long journey north to the Arctic with its mother. Swimming is second nature to a calf, though it has to learn the fine points of control and be as careful as its mother when swimming around humans.
Oh, wow. That baby's tail, he was going down, it just went a couple of feet in front of my face. Wow, we're just keeping pace with him. And he came up right below. I touched her, and it's interesting. She was going down, and then I squeaked a little bit, and she came back up to say hi. How nice. These are nice guys, and this baby is so sweet.
The temptation to slip over the side and swim with them was too much for Chris. He didn't want to scare them or get too close. He just wanted to get in there. Chris is a little unsure. These are huge animals. The visibility is bad, but in the gloom, Chris can make them out just ahead. These are magical moments for Chris. The mother and her calf seem totally at ease. Chris saw a lot of the calf. Because its lungs are smaller, it came to the surface to breathe much more often than its mother. Then, as mysteriously as they'd arrived, they swam away. A perfect ending to an epic journey for Chris. Even if he didn't really know why the whales chose these particular lagoons, he knew now at least that they come here to mate and give birth. Some mysteries have no explanation. One thing's for sure, the female he'd been with today had come to the lagoon to have a calf, and now their urge to migrate would take them back to the Arctic.
When you just think how far they've come, you know? Get down and have a calf and turn around and do it all over again. It's like amazing.
Maybe it is good for our souls that the gray whales never reveal all their secrets. Because if they did, they might lose some of the mystery that brought Chris here in the first place.